You are free to pray, but the results will depend on when you are, suppose you say, give me coconut, but you have only planted a coconut sapling day before yesterday. It will definitely give you fruit. The results will come after 12 years. You got it? You planted a tomato sapling, result will come in a few months, 1 or 2 months, 3 months, 90 days is generally that. If it is capsicum, then 45 days cycle is there. Things like that. So the results also depend on the time that task is going to take as per logic. So all these combinations are there. Plus, an important thing is the black box, which we call as the karma balance, the karmic thing which we carry from life to life, which is the one which ultimately decides how it is. Correct? So in India, most of us are born and brought up in India. Even though you and your friend might have been very close right from kindergarten to higher secondary, the reality was, even if that student, your close friend, got 5 marks less than you in your higher secondary, just because of being born in a particular category. In India, we have various categories, right? The hard work put is same, everything is same. Everything is same. So sometimes, despite scoring better, you might end up in a normal college than someone who gets to using reservation. Just think about it. In this life, all of you have done the right things. Sometimes, despite scoring less also, someone enters into a college where you can't, because you are classified in particular category. So these are all realities which we should accept without judging why it happened, like that. No answers are there. This is the reality. So from that you can understand the next topic, what we are trying to tell is karma siddhanta. That means how this law of karma works. Okay. So there are by nature 3 types there also. I'll tell you. You can call it law of karma. The first one is called sanchita. That means what? It is sum total of the karmas we have done across lives. It's like your biodata. When you go and apply for a company, what they do, what have you done till now? So, right, when you are appearing for the interview, you may have a tremendous potential, but the main result depends on your past. They will look at what have you done. Correct? All that karma, many things will be there, out of which the one who is interviewing may say, though you didn't do this in your last job, when you started your career, you have written that you have been good in documentation of certain things. I think that also could be one of your job responsibilities. You thought that is done and dusted when in your college and school days. But when they look at your past, they may tell, we would need your expertise to do this also, documentation, this, that, streamlining stuff. So similarly, sanchita karma is something like your biodata, which helps you to get this life. It has all the karma which you have done across lives. Okay, so this is very, very important to understand. You cannot change anything or add anything now. It is done. It's frozen. Say, sometimes back when we have a PDF, we know we don't edit, but nowadays we can edit PDF also. But I'm just telling you, it is done. Past is done. So anything you have done across lives is part of your sanchita karma. Any doubt? Maybe in one life you were in North India, one life you lived in South India, one life you live abroad, in one life you were a woman, one life you might have died as a child itself, in one life you lived 100 years. We have no idea about all this. It's a black box, correct? But the karma we saw with the example of just a Google, how it is tracking us, despite you switching off your location, you can still be tracked with your IMEI number. Similarly, wherever you are walking with your own balance, so you can be tracked. That is how cosmic tracks. Yeah.
So Sanchita karma is the karma of this current lifetime or across lifetimes?
No, across lifetimes, but for this lifetime. That's why I've sent it in the chat box, the definition of it. It is the sum total of all karma done across lives, but for this life.
What does that mean? Across lives, but for this life?
This life you got because of that. You just take the example of a biodata, no? The biodata is all actions you have done in your all past jobs. If you think each of your past job is one life,
okay,
all those lives which you have lived across jobs has resulted in your present job, which is your present life. Is it clear?
Okay.
So this way, if we understand, it will be much clearer. It also will help you to understand, despite me and my friends scoring 90 marks, why I didn't get into REC or I didn't get into IIT is because more than your marks and your intelligence, there is some X factor which was applied by the present living conditions. Correct? Even you apply for a job, you are there not in India. Some preference is given to locals. It is not always talent based. So some local pool, some gender based things will be there. So despite skills and talents, sometimes it appears that, not sometimes it appears, it is generally that our standard calculations will not appear in the day-to-day life because a lot of X factors are involved. Right from the gender, the shifts were required to work, which category of person you are, all those things are there. Correct? No? So those things be mindful of. So what we are trying to do, till now it is clear in Sanchita Karma. So this is the first thing we have to understand. Now, the second aspect we have to understand is called Prarabdha. Prarabdha is this life. Exactly, go back to your biodata curriculum writing. What happens when you enter this particular company? What you do becomes the Sanchita Karma when you go to the next company. It adds to your life. Like that, this particular life, whatever you are able to do the best way, is going to make your future the way you want. Correct? No? So this has to be very, very clear. So this life as Raj, this life as Narayan is nothing but some of the results of your past jobs, past life. If you take by example, it is past jobs. Correct? But if you take as a full system, it is your past lives. So here and there, some unknown things will be there. And many times, if you notice, in modern management also we say, we work for our boss, not for the company. Have you observed that? Like that, there are some people who will continue with us in this life, who were part of our previous life, like your job. It's quite logical because they know the way you work, where you can be relied upon, all these things. Correct? So this way, Prarabdha Karma is nothing but a few results out of your past have come together to enable the birth as who you are today. Narayan, any doubt? Yeah. So this way, if we understand, it becomes much, much clear. Okay. Then some of our talents would not have been used in this job also. Some of our desires would not have been fulfilling in this job. That is why you go and search for a next job. Very rarely, unlike our parents' generation, they joined a company, they retired from that company, whether it is private or public. Please correct me if I am wrong. Today, even if we are mild-mannered, we are an introvert, but still internally we know we are not the right fit for this place, let me go out. If you are an extrovert, without even asking us, people tend to judge we may leave anytime an opportunity comes. But leaving a job and staying in a job has nothing to do with your introvertedness or extrovertedness. It is some lurking desire which you feel that this particular job is not able to give you. You are not able to fulfill certain goals which you had set for yourself. So what you do, you even ready to apply for a job in Bombay or Delhi or San Francisco, leaving this and moving together. Correct? Same way, whichever unfulfilled stuff which you have in this life, plus some of the unfulfilled things from the past, is going to decide the kind of birth you are going to get next. Very simple way to understand. Now what is happening? Like how you yourself decided to move, you yourself are designing your life. Now, like how Kishore mentioned that they connect the dots. Why are we studying such in great detail about desire manifestation? And we are open to listing down all the desires because it is not one lifetime. Many things are there inside us. When you start thinking in the right way, without judging too much, why I am having this good desire, bad desire. If you keep the good, bad like adjectives aside and just be a witness to all the desires coming out of your system, making a note of it, making a to-do list, making a priorities, you will see a big, you will, without losing physical weight, you will feel lightness. Like how Narayan beautifully said, you know you can open out with that source because that source is not going to do anything with you. It's not a human source. Human source is to err is human. The same opening out could be used against us also. Correct? Similar way, when you open out the desires, what happens? The simple secret is the moment you are honest and opened out, some of your desires will get fulfilled even without doing yoga nidra. Because you are honest and you're opening it out. Kala Kramena, it may happen on its own also. You will understand. Oh, that day I gave you an example, no? Similar example. To become a 60-year-old, you don't need to have a desire. If you are lucky enough to live, you will be 60 years old. Like that, many of our desires, if you are ready to wait patiently, will anyway happen. Like you sowed a seed, a desire which is as good as a coconut tree, you should have the patience to wait for 12 years. No? If you are impatient for the desire to happen, it is our problem, not the problem of the desire. The desire will take its own time to happen. Clear, no? So when you do mind-related work like this, understanding the life, like your biodata, things like that, you will know some of the desires are in your list will anyway happen. So you just put one small tick, say, I don't need to worry too much about it. Correct? How much ever we think, you apply. For example, some of you here are having children. How much ever you plan, now you know whether the children are going to be with you or not also is probability only. It is not certainty. If you sit back unemotionally and think, so what you will do, like how you prepared for your travel, you prepare them for life. So what you do, you don't pamper. Pamper is overloading them. It's a burden for them. So you pack them sleek and clean. They go and discover life. Do any traveler walk with the big luggage like how Indians travel abroad? You have seen Westerners traveling and we traveling, right? The entire wardrobe walks with us. But the way many of them travel, very clearly planned things they do. That's a great thing we have to learn from them, how to travel in a compact way. The karma is also has to be compacted. From one life to another life, you keep carrying all the luggage. So these desires are the main luggages. So once you mentally sort it out and say, anyway, some things are going to happen as per time if I am alive. So why I am breaking my head? For example, if we have parents, how much ever you think you love them, one day they are going to leave the world like how we are going to leave the world. So we forget the truth. So certain things like, I wish they live there forever, these are all fantasy. Even a child knows it's not possible. So many of our desires can come under these categories that some anyway will happen, some anyway may not happen, but still that notions are there. So once you understand this way the law of karma and categorizing the desires, it becomes much easy for us. Is it okay? Now we go to the third aspect in law of karma. So, kriyamana is nothing but now. Kriyamana, kriya means to do, means what can you do now? Now this comes back to yoga. What is yoga is as much as possible trying to live in the now. That means awareness. One of the beautiful meanings we can derive for yoga is awareness. Because yoga means union. Union means what? You are in union with yourself. You are physically present and mentally present. That itself is one definition of yoga. The union of your physical presence and mental presence. For from our levels, no, we should try and understand practical ways of how to interpret yoga. Instead of Jivatma, connecting with Paramatma, all those things are good to read. Who knows all that? But here we can know alignment of my thought, word, and action. I can take it as yoga. Excelling in whatever I do, let me take it as yoga. Like that, if we try to understand yoga, it will be much better. So here, that now is the thing which is going to determine your future. So even in the job you are doing, every day what you do may create a great difference to your CV, right? Resume. Correct, no? So what happens when you go to the next job, they will assume that, oh, these things I don't even talk or tell, they anyway know about it. So some of your past things may not be utilized in your future things because that is inbuilt or inherent or it no need to tell explicitly to you. Correct, no? Spiritual business also which is happening across the world. Power of now, mindfulness, heartfulness, everyness, every fullness, every emptiness. Any spiritual stuff people are trying to tell us is in a nutshell about now. Just think in the break. There is nothing else people can teach us. If at all they want to teach us, it's only how can we maximize our ability to be in the now. It is marketed and labeled in all ways. All ways. ALLWAYS and ALWAYS. This is what is happening. Correct? Everything is how can we maximize the now. So when you're sitting in the school, the teacher will say, don't daydream, just look at me what I'm teaching now if you want to reach your goal. What the teacher is saying, live in the now. She is telling in her own vocabulary. So why we are undertaking such inner journey? To maximize our ability to be in the now by harnessing the potential which we already have. Many of us have common sense, but the fear, the apprehension, what others will think of us is not allowing us to use our own common sense also sometimes, if you observe. So when you are making yourself available to yourself always, you will find ways and means to exercise your common sense also gradually. So this is the law of karma. So what they are saying, you are the master of your own destiny. Everything what people say, you can derive from this now only. So our main goal should be whether you are studying this course, you are not studying any course, you are doing your job, you are sitting with your partner, you are discussing with your friend, you are doing a project report. If we understand that everything depends on not the past has taken you to the now. Now what you can do is going to determine your future sanchita, your future biodata. So when you move out of this life to the other life or this job to the other job, what you did now is going to be the important stuff. Okay. So this way we try to understand the law of karma. It gives us the idea that we don't need to ask like a child why these things are happening to me. It is happening to us because of our own biodata which we have created. Something good is happening to us, it's because of our own biodata we have done. Okay. Now connect this knowledge with your knowledge of what is karma yoga and bhakti yoga, you will get a beautiful picture. So you keep doing the job to the best of your ability. and leave the rest, because you can always know, you can receive it as sacrament, as prasada. So this kind of a thinking pattern has to slowly and consciously we have to develop. Otherwise, the past knowledge, past tendencies will come and haunt us. This is a very simple way to understand Karma Siddhanta. Is it okay? So this is why we were working with all the desires, all the things about what we are going to do.
I want to ask you, if in this state, if we do good karma, is that going to be carried to the next stage or in this stage only?
Depends. Same, go back to the coconut example. Suppose you are already 80 years old. You did a karma which is as good as coconut tree karma. If you live to 92 years, you can enjoy the fruits now only. If you are kicking the bucket by 90 years, 2 years, when your age is 2 years, maybe your grandfather will take a walk with you along with the coconut tree. We don't know. So it's all a black box. So what we try to do, we always try to be in the now for this simple reason. So let's not confuse ourselves with it's a yogic process, it's a Buddhist process, mindfulness, all that jargons let us knock off. All these jargons have come up from one word, which is now. If you want to understand it better, it is awareness. So some of the great siddhas and masters have said, if we as human beings are able to develop the ability to practice pratyahara, that is the withdrawal, to the best of our abilities with the grace of the divine, that itself is more than enough. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi will all happen as per this body and mind needs. But our main thing in life is to learn how to withdraw non-essentials, understand why essentials are important, and give more importance to the non-negotiables and essentials in life. It is something like that. Okay.